So we went to America. They have lots of money. And they're very skilled, and they really know their stuff, and they know how to scale. We did do some UK investment as well. We are a fintech company that struggles massively with the ability to globally scale. We are building an aggregation way of really understanding the underwriting model of the UK to make sure that advisors send their companies to the best possible lender in that market. Therefore, we have hundreds of legal agreements with lenders all across the country. We have understand the underwriting model of the UK to perfection. The underwriting model in the US is really different. The underwriting model in France is really different. But the core infrastructure of our product would be amazing for America. It would be amazing. Just the problem is the cost of us going there, learning a whole load of new lenders, bringing them on, and doing that is actually going to be that's going to be a pretty sizable C if we want to do that. And so I find the fintech market really struggles with scalability because we become extreme experts in our market, and we then have to work out how to become extreme experts in someone else's market. And that is probably one of our biggest challenges for the growth of Capitalise is we have found product market fit in the UK, and we could do it in America, we could do it in Canada, we could do it in Australia, and we could do it mostly in kind of Commonwealth countries where the lending laws are more similar, and that would be probably the easiest place to start, but we could hypothetically go everywhere. But actually the amount of capital needs to do that because of we can't just plug and play it into another country, so I suppose I haven't answered that question yet.
Does that put off international investors if you go to America to try and find investment where it might be slightly easier or different? The fact that you're kind of stuck in the UK until you have to put a massive effort behind it, does that put them off?
So the market fit for us was huge still in the UK to convince a very large US investor that has 3 or 4 unicorns already in its fund that we're in. So we managed to do it based on the fact that there is the future potential. But actually VCs are quite realistic on what you've got to do and achieve first before you then get to that next phase. But yes, it's definitely fintech. It has a cross-border. Just look at N26, classic example of we're too established already.
You mean withdrawal from the UK?
Pardon?
You mean withdrawal from the UK?
Yeah, sorry, not really explain that. Yes, so N26 just withdrew from the UK, and they said Brexit, legal things. Bung then said we're fine, all good. Ultimately, they were a generalist, and we've got neobank generalism down. Like, you've got to go vertical if you're going to enter this market now, because we're a really mature fintech market. So actually, we're nowhere near as mature a fintech market. So, like, for us, I think Capitalise would be wonderful in America. It's just a really big decision at some point in a company's life to go there. And one of our Zero, has anyone here heard of Zero? Most people are using or heard of Zero. They're doing very well. They've really commandeered their market. They really are the owner of that market. They're just having a field day. They're not having a very good time, just without swearing. They're not having a great time in America because of just the hugely dominance of QuickBooks. And if someone like that, with that much, they've got just a wonderful business culture, they've got a great market fit and everything, and they just can't get there. So yes, it's a challenge that we're working out as we go along. So I didn't answer that question, I just sympathised with it.
I would just say, just specifically about the US, in terms of fundraising from the US, certainly a number of my clients have ended up setting up a Delaware, I don't know about what the structure is of Capitalise, but certainly set up a Delaware holding company and on top of the UK subsidiary, because they found that the American investors were far more comfortable in investing into a US company, and Delaware has certain tax advantages as well. So having that structure certainly made them more attractive. I can't speak about Dubai.
So luckily for us, our American investor has one person on the ground in the UK and the ability to do it from here. But I'm quite interested in the Dubai comment. I will explore.
I've actually been speaking to some investors in the Middle East, and I don't think, I think you end up speaking to investors all over the world. I don't mind where they are, as long as they're interested. That's again the thing. I think, like, if they contact you or if you get introduced to them and they say, hey, we'd like to perhaps, put some money into it, then take the conversation. The hard thing is finding them, obviously. It's not that you go to Dubai and they just throw money at you. Like, you need to get into some kind of network. But, that's the wonderful thing about this as well. As you said before about second connections, that one of my investors is Chinese, and all of a sudden, like, many of these investors coming into this round is Chinese, because that's her network and she knows them, right? And then one of my other investors is Indian, and then again it's an Indian network, and you get to pick and choose for all the network. And now I'm also about to introduce to the Middle East network, and that's just going to make myself much stronger in the future, because I can tap into all these networks around the world. So I think it's just about you as a founder, or you as a CEO at least. The main job you have is just making sure that there's just a stream of cash you can always tap into whenever you need it. And where that cash comes from, that can be decided in a board meeting. But your job is to keep that cash coming everywhere and saying, I've got the cash, this is the terms, should we do it? So just keep your head up and speak to them all.
I bet there's some pretty complicated cap tables in Dubai.
Yeah.